Okay, let's try it again. One, two, three.
Clap.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to Animacast. It's been a little while. Today I have joining with me Shuriken again and Telepurte.
Hi.
Alright. So Shuriken had an interesting subject to start off with Adobe sucks. If you want to take the stage.
Today we will talk about
Okay.
why Adobe sucks.
Yeah, we're starting off strong.
Okay, so let's start with basic reasons. Like we all know that Flash was first owned by Macromedia Flash 8. Oh my God, what am I saying? By Macromedia.
Sorry, man.
It was owned by Macromedia, and things were like being pretty much fine. Well, I was working like the first program I was working with like from Macromedia. It was Flash 5. It didn't really have anything. Like it didn't have the
Right.
transform tool. It didn't have like normal zooming. It didn't have brush smoothing. You just couldn't actually move anything, and rotate it or scale it. Or you had to draw everything from the start, like the way how it should be. However, symbols weren't there. So like it developed to Flash 8 that is like pretty good for animating. But then Adobe bought Macromedia, and things started going downhill. It's like, yes, they invent like new features and stuff, but they don't give anything about optimization of their program. Like,
Yep.
not sure about any other like After Effects or something. Like Premiere works fine, but the thing is, uh, they
At
care.
least with like Flash.
Yeah, like they care about their software protection much more than about the software itself, and this is sad because
Ooh.
yeah, it still gets cracked, and the bad thing is they really want like to people pay money, like like as a subscription for a really crappy soft. Like I still work in Flash 8 because it's well optimized. Like when I work for Alan Becker in Adobe Animate, it's pain because of memory leaks that they have. Like the memory usage is insane. Like yesterday I got 6 gigabytes taken by Adobe Animate when I was doing yes, 6. I think I had.
That's
Jesus.
crazy.
And when I restarted the file, it came like back to 400 or something. Like they have insanely high memory leaks. Like their software lags really much. So yeah, I have to work in Flash 8 and like when it's possible. And it's really sad because they have a lot of people, like they have a lot of people working on this software. Like they could pay some attention to optimizing and fixing bugs and crashes, but they simply don't do that. And
God, that's weird. Because sorry to interrupt you. That's just I've only ever heard good things about Animate.
unfortunately, like when like people say you need a lot of RAM to animate, it's because of memory leaks. Like if you don't want to restart animate way too often, yeah, you will need a lot of RAM.
Jeez.
I can't say that Macromedia like did like absolutely good job, but they were just fine. They added something. Yeah, bugs appeared, crashes were also like not really something really, but not really often, but it was pretty much fine. And for example, if you look at other software like for more local, for example, Sprite that is used to create pixel graphics, it was developed by 2 people, Like the one was coding, the second one was making assets and doing some design work for the program. But the program works really well. It really thinks what people really need, and it tries to implement it. But like, and
So
also
it's
the
like more
crash.
community built.
Hmm?
It's more like community built.
Yeah, it's more like community build, and it's more like, I know it's pixel graphics and it's like really at some point it's unwise to compare them, but well, Flash 8 basically does almost the same functions that Adobe Animate do, but still it lags really much. Like, I can barely work on something in Adobe Animate if I try to.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
well, yeah, basically that's it.
Well,
Like, they don't really care much about the program. They didn't care much about optimization. Insane memory leaks, like they don't even fix them. It's just sad.
well, if I remember correctly, you use a pretty old computer, right?
Not really. It's pretty much decent. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not like it's like super old or something. It's like, if I want to play some games, like, yeah, it's gonna, like, it's gonna be fine. But like, for example, if I want to play GTA 5, yeah, I probably won't be able to do that. Games on Unreal Engine doesn't like work well on my PC, but uh, I still can do like work, and I still can play games. It's like fine. I can play most games that I want to play.
Oh, just a unrelated question. What kind of games do you play?
Well, my favorite game is Factorio,
Yo.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
because, and
I've heard
also
that one's good.
speaking of Factorio, it has golden developers. Like, the developers are literally made of gold, because they care about this game so much. They try to fix all bugs they can find. They try to optimize the game really much. Like, it works well with really like high resolution textures and effects on my really weak laptop, and I'm like, wow, how did they do this? Like, they really care about optimizing stuff and making their game better. Like, it's completely opposite from Adobe.
Way to loop it right back around.
Adobe.
What other games do you play?
Right now, actually, I don't really have much time on playing games, but one more game I play is Realm of the Mad God. It's the, yeah, it's the old
I've-
game where you like, it's a bullet hell MMORPG where you die once and that's it, you're gone. All the items, all your character, you have to like start over.
Yeah,
And it's easy to die in this game.
It's like a roguelike bullet
Oh,
hell
boy.
kind of thing.
Yes. And I like it because it actually, like, when you play this game, it's like you gain experience, like your own experience. You are
Mhm.
getting better at the game, you die less.
Hang on, I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
Oh,
Yeah, like-
okay.
Like the experience of the game is more in you, the player, not so much the numbers that you
Yeah.
gain throughout it.
Yeah, it actually has like something that like can heal you on insane amount of like gives you a lot of HP, and really hard bosses that like requires you to have some decent pet, but it's pretty much like rewarding about the, how you call it, pretty much well rewarded, like the experience you like gaining. So sometimes you can actually play just without this pet and you will be fine. But also, that I really hate about this game is because it is made on Flash.
Oh,
Like, the client is made
Really?
of Flash. Yes.
I
And-
didn't.
Wait, are we still talking about the same game?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Realm of the Mad
and-
God. I didn't know
and
it was
again,
made of Flash.
yeah, and again, memory leaks. Like,
Oh no.
Because it is made in Flash, it has memory leaks, and like all players have to restart the game after some time. So like Windows will clear the clear all the allocated memory that
Hmm.
this game uses. And also because it uses like Flash rendering that is not really good for games. You can't play this game on full screen. It just lags even if nothing really hard happening. And for example, there is like a dungeon called Lost Halls where like a lot of players go in there, and you need to fight a boss. Your FPS, like my FPS, drops really low, like where there are like 50 or 60 players. Like I need to play on really like tiny screen, and my FPS is low, and I have to dodge like bullets with this like on really small screen. It's really not good. I actually was thinking of just like making my own client like on C or something else, but then they announced that they are making their game on Unity, and they didn't like say the release date. So yeah, actually, let's. I
But
think
Realm of
it's
the Mad
time
God
for
is
me to
like
stop.
on it's on Steam,
Mm,
right? Like recently I just
yeah,
saw Realm of the Mad God on Steam. For me it was always like a browser game.
it's both.
It's both now? Nice.
It's not now. It always was both, I guess.
Huh.
The thing, and also the thing that like I understand why this game does it, but when you die and that's it, it's not really pleasant. But if you have more character slots, uh, or slots, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, it may be offensive. Uh, it's like you start all over. But if you have like two or three character, let's say spots, then it's much easier, but you have to buy them for money. And the same with the vault chests. Like you have really small, like you have only one chest to store all the items, and you need to buy more. And if you want more space again, you have to buy it. Like
Oh.
actually, like there are some, like they added some calendar like 2 years ago or something. So like you can get them by logging in the game each day, like during month. Then you can get like a coupon, like collect 5 of them. So basically, in 5 months, you can get one character and one chest, which is not pretty much good, but like it's fine. And I understand why they need to do this. It's because the game is pretty much small, and to keep it running, because like it requires powerful CPUs, so they have to pay for really expensive servers. So yeah, they try to keep it any
Hmm.
way possible.
Cool.
All right. Do we want to move on to another subject?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah, we've been going on
Today
for
today
30
because
we
minutes
will
with
I
this.
feel like
we will
I
memory
feel like I'm
leak.
advertising. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
advertising the game. Like we have like 5 minutes of speaking only about this game.
Today I will have memory leaks all day. So,
All right. Well, what do you guys want to talk about next?
well, on the
It
list
was
we
the
have
movie
Adobe
Klaus.
sucks. After that is other programs. So,
Well,
Oh, other programs. Well,
tell me, we mentioned Sprite, which is for
mm,
pixel art. Do you have any other
hmm
programs that you would think about in pixel art?
Oh, I think Pride is really good. Like it's pretty much how to say, like, as I live in Ukraine, and basically every single dollar counts in our country. Like we can live, for example, on $400 like for a month or even 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see a plugin that costs like $400, we're like, what? We are not buying this thing. But
Yeah.
Asaprite is pretty much cheap, and when I bought it, like I was like really happy because it it's really good. Like
Yeah.
Asaprite is really well made. Like it has the protection against the crashes. Even it doesn't even crash. The thing is also, like, I know I'm returning to back topic, like to the Adobe topic. When you do something that like might crash your program, you can just put it into exception. So like, it won't crash the whole program. It just will say that, okay, error in here appeared, I could not do that. But when like you draw a line and then it crashes the whole program and you didn't save, it's just not good.
Oh god, that's one of my least favorite things about Flash 8, at least.
Yeah, actually,
Since
it
I've
appeared
gotten
in
my
Flash.
tablet, like if I just touch the sidebar menu to the right, like at all with my pen, then the whole thing will just crash immediately.
Wow. Well, I think Adobe fixed this, but to compare like things they did good and things they did not good, yeah, radio is not really satisfying.
Yeah.
Like I know that Flash F8 has some problems, like that Adobe Animate doesn't have, but just optimization and memory leaks makes me use Flash 8 instead. By the way, also speaking of software, I was looking at some guy. I'm not sure. Like I think it's a studio, Exit 74 Studio or 73. I don't remember. I was looking at his record of his stream and I was stunned. He was working in Flash MX. That is like even older than...
MX?
Yes, he was working in Flash MX and...
Like 2004?
Yes.
Wow.
Bruh.
And
Oh my
like,
god.
actually,
Doesn't Tenshamaru work in MX
yes,
from
yes,
2004?
he does.
Good lord.
Wait,
He also
I'll
Tenchimaru
does.
never
still
understand
exists?
those people. I will never understand those people.
Yeah, I
So
haven't heard-
actually,
I
when
haven't heard
I came to the comment section, like, and I say like Flash MX, wow, like, it's like I know that it doesn't really have much differences. Like you still will use brushes and like fill tool, but like what makes you stay? And he replied that it is more reliable than any other program, like than Adobe Animate. But if they really have to work in there, yeah, he does. But he just like sticks to what is pretty much reliable.
It works,
So,
it
yeah.
works.
Huh.
Yeah.
Telepurte, what programs have you used?
I have used the good old Flash. I used to use the good old Flash, but before Flash I used EasyTunes, and before EasyTunes I used Pivot, but today I use Krita.
Easy Tunes.
Yeah!
I've used that
EasyTunes
once.
is really good thing actually. Like it's really simple, but
It's like Flipnote, but more intuitive.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Flipnote, but for your computer.
Yeah. There was another kind of Flipnote spin-off that was it was inspired directly from Flipnote, but the UI was drastically improved. It's kind of like Easy Tunes, but I think a little better. I haven't fiddled with it too much, but it's called like Clipnote, I think. And I saw like AJ Anims and FA Variety using it,
Mhm.
so I wanted to try and check that out. But I don't know, maybe it's something to look into.
Yeah, but these days, more than anything, I recommend Krita. It's an art program more than anything, but it has animation capabilities like Clip Studio Paint does. And the way that its timeline works is a lot more intuitive than Clip Studio Paint. And you like it's raster based, so you can go really crazy with the brushes and stuff, and it will still work. And you can do blending modes, and it's really quite flexible. The big problem that I have with it is that it doesn't have a VCam, and it doesn't have.
Aw.
You can't really draw outside of the canvas too easily. Like you can't see outside of the canvas. You can draw, but you can't see it outside. So those are my two big problems with Krita, but it's still like really powerful. All of my animations, daily animations, have been done with Krita up until this point.
Really?
Yeah, like all of them.
I thought you used Animate.
No, man, who uses Animate? Pfft, that thing has memory leaks.
Ouch.
That's more of a jab towards Alan, if anything.
Yeah, Alan uses it, so I have to use it, unfortunately, to help him out.
This
with
is
his
going off
English.
topic again, but like, I've been curious. How did Alan like reach out to you for you to work for him?
It was opposite. I reached to him.
Oh, okay.
Actually, like how I started working for Alan Baker. Like I know that Accept worked, and I was speaking a lot to him. Like we had a lot of conversations. So I say, like I asked him, like, does Alan Baker need more animators for like doing stuff? And he said like, oh yeah, like he created a thread on Hans Dojo. Like really? I came to the
He
Hans.
did?
Yeah. And I
Wow.
came to Hans Dojo, like, and I see that like people say that like I'm not even that good, like to even try to do that. So like I just basically sent him like animations that I did, like my snowball collab and stuff like this, and then yeah, I started working for him.
Huh.
Like
That was like, cause when I was talking to AJ fairly frequently, I remember when Alan reached out to him, and then he was really excited. So I just assumed that Alan was like searching for animators through the dojo.
it was, I think it's both, but like first time he didn't really search for them. He was like doing a post and then accept the animators. I think also Travis Steven, also known as Stone, was working for him uh, for some time, but then he disappeared.
I've seen him being active again.
Yeah, he was making parts for Doors, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Doors has been reviving so many people recently.
yeah,
That's really true, actually. There's a whole lot of faces that I haven't
Yeah.
seen in years just because of Doors 5.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, yo, you still exist? What?
Yeah. It's Doors 5 has been crazy.
well, also
Just like hearing how many parts he's gotten like 1,400 parts.
over 1,000, I guess. He's made an announcement saying over 1,000.
Yeah. Well, I asked him yesterday. He just said at least like 1,400.
Like accepted parts or
Just overall, like it'll still be
Okay.
an absolute chore to look through all of them.
and you guys got
God.
out.
Oh yeah, I said it's still gonna be an absolute chore to look through all of them. Like,
Okay.
but like, I try to do the math, comparing it to the previous doors, and like if every part
I'm
that he
guessing.
received was accepted,
Yeah.
then it would be like 4.5 hours long.
Well, if like okay, like only if like parts will be long enough, and only if all of these parts get into collab.
Yeah, it's a very hypothetical scenario.
But
But
I
just thinking about like just hosting a collaboration that popular, that massive to that scale is insane to me. Like even if that's very unlikely to happen for it to be that long, just getting to that possible level is insane.
I think it might
Just
actually be
1
some
hour.
world record thing. Like, it might actually be the biggest world record for, like, animation collaboration or something like that. Of this
Yeah,
I
only
wouldn't
if
doubt it.
only if we beat Shrek retold. Yeah, probably.
Shrek Retail. Oh, I forgot that
It's-
existed.
Yeah.
How many
it's
people
also
did
the
Shrek Retold
collaboration.
have?
I don't know.
Oh boy.
But I think they are going to do the second part. I don't know. Just rumors. I don't know.
God. Man. Well, we've gotten off topic.
Well, that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
podcast.
I don't mind. It led to an
I
interesting
have
place.
also I have one more topic. Using code in animation.
Mhm.
Like, will this work? Like,
let's try and do what we planned first.
okay, what's the next
Yeah.
thing?
2D and 3D animation comparison and merging,
Uh,
which then sparked Klaus for me, Klaus. Klaus was an animated Christmas film that kind of used 3D, but it was mainly 2D.
Hmm.
It was really well done.
Really
I
well
thought that we
done,
could
I think,
relate
is an
to that.
understatement. It's godly.
Yeah, it's absurdly well done.
It's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, like if anyone listening to this, if you have Netflix or if your friend has Netflix, watch it. It's a Christmas film, but it is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a Christmas film, but I think if you're an animator and you're listening to an animator podcast, just watch it for the sake of watching the amazing 2D animation that looks so good that it looks 3D. Like, there are some things you just
Yeah.
can't believe that it's 2D because it just looks so amazingly well done.
Yeah, I believe there was some rotoscoping, which involved a 3D program and then traced over it a little bit in 2D. But like the lighting is what really makes it pop.
Yeah.
Is that I believe they used a separate program to kind of automatically track where the highlights should be, and then they went in and fixed small details, but it pulled it all together so beautifully well.
It's I want to cry every time I think of it.
Yeah. Shuriken, you haven't seen the movie, but I sent a few clips. I want to know what you think on it.
Watch it, please.
Well, yes, watch it, but
I feel like recently with the whole Blender 2.8 coming out, the whole integration of like putting 2D into a 3D world is really picking up a lot more. And
wait, Blender 2?
yeah, Blender 2.8.
2.8. Oh, is this a recent version?
Yeah, it's one of the more
it's
recent
a new
versions that was like released a couple months ago, and they added like a grease pencil thing where you can make a 2D plane and animate 2D in a 3D space.
What? I'll have to check that
Is
out.
it?
And you can
like,
put
does it have
lighting
decent
onto it.
amount of tools?
Yeah,
Yeah, like does it just that one tool, or is it more extensive on 2D?
it's more extensive. So it's basically everything you need to make a good animation. Just
Okay.
the problem with that is Blender is so complicated and non-intuitive in some aspects that you don't see a lot of people using it. But boy, the people that know how to use it and that do use it for the purpose that it has, they do so good. It's amazing.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I need to pull up some examples of what I mean. If I can remember.
Yeah.
Who? I think it might have been Shadowrama.
So wait, are we talking about Klaus or 2D and 3D animation?
I both at the same time.
We're talking about 2D and 3D animation coming together, but by extension,
Yeah.
Klaus, because Klaus is 2D and 3D mixed together, but mostly 2D.
Mostly 2D with just occasional rotoscoping, from what I've heard.
Yeah. There were some shots which had like a rotating camera, and they did need to use 3D for like the background, but the characters were
Yeah.
2D.
Yeah, basically what I would actually suggest using 3D for our backgrounds. Like, no matter what, if you are 2D animator or you are 3D animator, I think you should use 3D if you don't have a static background. Like, if you have things turn around like cinematics, it's really good for it. Like, if you have like camera spin around the character, like, it also doesn't really limit you. It also gives you like what I'm trying to say. It not only breaks the limit like of you doing some simple angles, it also like manages it really well, so you don't have to redraw the background each time it does it for you.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
just really
also-
powerful. It's a really powerful.
Yeah, it's really powerful. Still, like, why would I, like, for example, where would I use 2D and where would I use 3D? 3D, is when you want to achieve something realistic, like something that is like you want to put a lot of details, a lot of like a lot of stuff, and especially angles. Like if you try to animate angles where camera like goes around, yeah, you should use 3D. But if you want to do something really simple, then I think you still have to use 2D, because it's much faster. Like it's matter of time, and how much, like the matter of time and result. That's what I would say. When you have like what will be better and what will be faster, just to compare these two things. And merging 2D and 3D, like I see that a lot of 2D effects on top of 3D animation works well. A lot of
Oh yeah.
like you can see this a lot, for example, from trailers of Riot, like League of Legends, with their animatics. With some of them, they really use it, and it looks really stylish.
I don't think I've ever seen them. I've never
Bro.
been really into League of Legends. Like I
Uh,
downloaded it and I played like a very small bit of the tutorial and then never opened it again.
Yeah, you don't need to play the
Well,
game to enjoy
it's-
the lore and to enjoy the cinematics.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
Blizzard.
I've seen some of the video, like the music videos, like the KDA pop stars.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
hmm
I'm like those are really impressive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they make me so excited to just like try my best to
yeah.
become a 10 out of 10 animator and just work with them one
Especially
day.
the recent one. Yeah, the recent one with all the rapping.
The True
I
Damage.
don't know. It's just Yeah, that one. The animation was really impressive, but I mean the music itself was okay. Not my taste, but I don't know. Like, do they use both 2D and 3D in those? I don't quite remember.
Yes, in the True Damage one, the most recent musical one, they used 3D backgrounds and a lot of the characters were 2D. I think all of the characters were 2D
Yeah.
actually. I used to think like
alright.
when 3D.
Oh yeah, the background's definitely 3D. I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, I used to think back in the day, like in 2015ish, that it used to be like everything was 2D. Like before 3D was invented, everything was 2D, and then 3D was invented, and it like had its phase. And I thought, well, once 3D stops being super novelty, we'll all go back to 2D, and it will go back to like the origins. But the more time goes on, I actually figure that it's actually really going to be a combination between 2D and 3D that's going to make the big pop next, instead of either 3D or either 2D.
Oh yeah.
Like in the last 10 years, it's just been almost exclusively 3D movies, with one of the exceptions being, well, The Princess and the Frog. That's the big one that everyone refers to as like the last 2D feature film. But now with Klaus and how things are looking, like with the technology that's coming out, I really think that it's just gonna go forwards into like hybrid. And I'm really excited for that, because it's gonna be super interesting to see how things combine and come together and make new horizons.
Oh yeah. I hope that's the case, but I heard like the production of Klaus was like it was in production hell for like several years.
By the way, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Well, I wanted to say that even like small animators, like even local animators, like solo animators, that's I think the best way to call. Do you guys know like Adam Phillips? I think,
Yeah.
like he's currently creating the origins of Dashkin, like the movie, and he uses Unreal Engine 4 to render the background for it. So
I
like
think I saw a clip. Yeah, I think I saw a clip of that on Twitter, and it looked really good. and I hadn't seen some of his stuff in forever. But he wrote like a tutorial to Flash, or like Flash 8 specifically, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone out there listening, wanting to get into Flash 8, I'd recommend looking at that because it's really good.
Yeah, you can also find him by nickname Chluade. Just like I actually never seen the tutorial, but if but if people say it's good, yeah, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to move on to the next subject?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we have an abundance of
Not really?
subjects, so let's go.
Stick figure
Alright.
animation to drawing, right?
Yes. So this is
Stick figure.
a topic that I brought up or that I proposed, and I wanted to know
Well,
what you guys think about the whole aspect of maybe the difficulties or the pros and cons of being a stick figure animator that learns how to draw, and vice versa, of being an artist that knows how to draw and has to learn how to animate.
Oh, you mean from stick figure animation to drawing and drawing to stick figure animation? Wait, hold on.
So
Yeah.
like there are two
So like
categories that I want to.
learning how to be an artist.
Yeah.
Learning how to be an artist first, and then going into stick figure animation, or animation in general. Or, on the other hand, starting out with stick figure animation and then going into to drawings.
Mhm,
I will
exactly.
think both. Like you need to learn how to draw, and you need to start animating like stick figures, because stick figures actually spare you some time on, like, you don't have to draw every single like thing, like arms and stuff, like draw the fingers. It's pretty much basic, and it gives you understanding of how motion works, how characters move, how it like gives you much fast, like it learns you much faster. And also, I'm not saying that doing only stick figures is a good idea. You need to do both. Like you need to sometimes try to do the full body animations in order to see how you can, like, in between these things well. But yeah, stick figure, like, because I was animating stick figures first, like since I was a child, I had to like I was good, like I eventually became good at animating stick figures, but I was really bad at something else, and I struggle because of it. Like right now, I'm practicing pixel art to gain what I missed, so I will be able to draw. So yeah, it's like both important, because if you like, I can actually show you like once we actually no, like how do I, like put in the description like the animation. This is the great example of learning how to draw first and then learn how to animate. It's animation by Afterlog. You can clearly see.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen her
You've
stuff.
seen this? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her trying to
You
animate
can
recently. It's
you can
weird.
actually see that, like, the drawings are so good, but actually, like, the animation is like, it doesn't really
Yeah.
follow the
It's not
the
yeah.
principles. Like, it's like really straightforward, and like it's really, how to say it, either fast paced. Like, she doesn't know how to cheat. She doesn't know like where she needs to work, like, really hard. She doesn't know how movement works, the gravity, the easing. Like, it just doesn't work in here. So yes, you need to do both of it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she released a video recent, like last month. I didn't know that. I'll have to watch that afterward.
Yeah.
I tried, like, when I was on stream, I tried to like teach her like on how easing works and all the double framing, so she don't draw that many frames each. Every single frame, like, 24, and you draw all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
There are some patterns that
Yeah.
I can notice in both categories. Like, for example, with the stick figure animator who's transitioning into like a full body animator, who's learning how to draw, I find that one of the biggest or most common mistake patterns is that they won't really think about like three dimensionality. They won't think of the z axis and how things can come towards you and go away like as lines. And on the other hand, like in terms of like a 2D artist that knows how to draw and is pretty decent at drawing, and they're going into animation, I notice that they like tend to have this conception that animation is so much work and you have to draw so many frames and put so much detail, and they just like go way overboard with like making the drawings too detailed, and they just tire themselves out and they traumatize themselves with the animation because they say, man, animation's so damn hard, and when it doesn't really need to be. It's more.
Yeah, it's more like when you draw one single picture, you can go into like art and draw a lot of details. In animation, you have to keep you have to keep things really, really simple, so you will have less time on drawing one frame.
I think, like, coming from the perspective of solo animators, that stands true. That it's just a daunting task in that perspective. But like, if you go to school for animation and you're planning to go into a studio, I'm sure that they have techniques to make it far less of a daunting task. One of the big ones being, of course, that you're not the only animator working on the project. It's more of a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Depends of animation. Like if you're talking about 3D, where like everything, like it matters, like of the modelers, like guys who, like I think they are called riggers, who create rig for models, effects, environments, and stuff like this, illuminating. Like it's not really like, they really need all these people when they don't really need to have a lot of people drawing each single frame. They have render for it that it does it automatically. If you're if you're talking about 2D animation, unfortunately, there like it needs to have a lot of working force that will like go ahead and draw every single frame that it is required to be drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to the I don't know. I started out animating full body. I loved drawing, and then I started going into animating with Flipnote and full body. And I tried to use the squash and stretch method like very exclusively. So if I wanted to move a character, I would draw him in one place, and then the next frame I'd draw him in another, and then I would just kind of squish that character together. It kind of like an ego raptor method, where you would squish that character and give that illusion of movement, but it was really poorly done. And then I discovered the dojo and started animating stick figures, and then I got a far better grasp on movement.
Yeah.
And eventually I'll go back to full body, but I would absolutely suggest getting into stick figure animation first before you go into full body or just drawing.
It's just more time sparing. Like it's like will give you actually like it won't distract you from drawing the arms and legs. It just will give you like this straight. It will lead you straight to the point. Like you did the movement wrong, and you need to get like to see why. Why does it look wrong? Like you will actually have to like have understanding what wobbling is and how to fix it.
Yeah.
Using everything. But like after you understand this, you're ready to go to full body. It's just like time sparing.
I have a question actually. Do you think someone who has been animating stick figures for maybe like a year or two would have an easier time doing gesture drawing, like life drawing people, than someone who has never done it before?
I kind of feel like that depends on their age, because you look at a bunch of stick figure animators, especially now, with the dojo becoming a bigger influence on animators. You have a lot of young children trying to get into animation, and they're still really young and can't like fully. How do I say it?
Understand?
Yeah, fully understand how positions work. That's the. It's a terrible way to describe it.
It's more like
I think I understand.
Yeah, I think I also understand. Yeah, I think viewers also understand. In case if they don't understand, someone will explain to them in the comments.
Yeah, help me out, guys.
Help us out. You're dumb. Sorry.
Don't say we. It's just me,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I actually should have just said like me. I am.
Yeah, I'm
Same for
dumb.
two of them.
I'm just
Sorry.
dumb.
I am dumb. Yeah.
I'm the biggest idiot in the world. Tell me I'm an idiot in the comments. Thank you.
Oh, I don't need to tell you in a comment. I'll tell you right now. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not supposed. You're not supposed to agree.
Oh, right. You're fine. You're fine, Hatina. You have the
Thank
big
you.
brain. You see,
Okay.
the big brain is just confusing for all the other people who are not big brain. So you just look dumb to other
Right.
people, but you're
You're
not.
all-
Even
oh,
I'm-
yeah. I should go with the overly confident approach to this situation.
You see, if you're stupid but you're hyper confident, your stupidity looks like intelligence.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyways. Alright. What's the last subject here?
Last subject.
What subject is sleep deprivation and drug use affecting animation and creativity? What?
So,
Okay.
this was another topic that I thought would be interesting. What do you think
Okay,
sleep
Take the
deprivation
stage.
has an
sleep
effect like?
deprivation.
Yeah. So, it was like gonna be two different subjects, like first sleep deprivation and then second of all drug use. But let's start with
kind of squashed it into one.
yeah. Let's start with the sleep
Okay.
deprivation. How do you think sleep deprivation is affecting artists today, and how it affects quality, or do you think it's
I,
good or bad, or
I don't really know. I mean, I have insomnia, but I don't think it affects me too much. It kind of affects my motivation,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know about quality.
Right.
Well, as the guy who has sleep deprivation, like in 2014, I was working insanely hard. Like I actually was working for like 14 hours per day in average. It does not really affect you much. It's just animation is still how to say it. It's still pretty repetitive task, so you don't really have to think about it. But only if you are not going, uh, straightforward. So basically drawing one frame, then you draw second frame, then you draw third frame, then yes, you need to think how the movement should work. But if you have, for example, pose to pose animation, or you have a storyboard where you describe the move very well, it doesn't affect you much.
Interesting. Well, in my case, now that I've heard your cases, sleep deprivation usually makes things a lot worse. Like,
Usually,
yeah, like, there are some times where I'll spend the night, like, working really late, and I'll get, like, an extra strong animation done. Like, if I stay up until, like, 3 in the morning, just working, obviously, that animation is going to be a really good animation. But the next day is an entirely different story. It's almost like borrowing from tomorrow, the amount of effort that you can put into a single thing. And if you keep doing that over and over and over again, I would imagine you'd probably end up with some pretty bad results. Not only like in terms of animation quality, but in terms of health as well. So I think
I think it's
the general consensus is have a good sleep schedule.
yeah. Like right now it's 6 a.m. for me. And I
Oh.
have,
Good
yeah.
morning,
Hello.
gamer.
Yeah. Shuriken's in Ukraine. It's 6 a.m. for him. It's 9 p.m. for me. I live in the USA in the West. And Telepurte, I don't know where Telepurte lives.
I'm like 3 hours ahead of you, so it's 11 p.m. here. Not
Okay.
too.
Are you in the US?
No, I'm in South America, Colombia.
Oh.
Yes, sirree. The land of
I
coffee.
also couldn't help but notice that you posted an animation in the middle of the podcast. How dare you?
I've been working this whole time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
What was this animation?
well,
Just out of curiosity.
you see,
I'll show it on the video on YouTube. For anyone else, sorry.
yeah, this animation was basically just something to keep my brain working, but it needed to be something therapeutic where I didn't need to think too much. So these are like kind of almost like Eternal Circus rockets, but with colors and cool things that look nice.
Yeah, it looks nice.
And yeah, that's basically just to wind down from yesterday, because the whole reason that I brought up the topic of sleep deprivation is because I stayed up really late last night trying to finish yesterday's animation, and I did get it done, but today I did not feel too good at all. So I guess I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's a general consensus that sleep deprivation not good. So on the next topic, now the
Oh,
drug.
wait, hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. I still have something to say.
Ah.
Oh, because
Oh,
I
boy.
worked really much lately. Like 2 days ago, I did, like, Alan gave me a lot of tasks because I asked him, and I was working for 15 hours straight. I even would say like 17 or 18 because I was working really slow on the first part, so I had to turn off the Clockify. And when I say this to Igor, he said that I'm dumb, and then I will end up really, like, I'll end up really bad if I keep working like this. And actually, he's right, because, yeah, it's not really healthy. It's like, you don't need to think about deprivation of, like, sleep deprivation as the quality of animation, but as your own health. Like, if you destroy your own health, and this is actually not good. So don't think about the quality, think about yourself when you take the sleep deprivation, because if you only think about work, yeah, it's not good. It's just overkilling yourself. And this is
Yeah.
not good, trust me.
Like a normal work day is like 8 hours. I don't know if that differentiates anywhere else, but I would assume it's the same.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the most healthy. 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Anything more than that could just be extremely tiring.
Unless you do something you really love.
Well, still, I feel like that would still. I guess it heavily depends on what you do.
Yeah, you
Like,
can definitely be
if
doing
you-
something that you absolutely love, but if you do it too much, you end up hating it.
Yeah, that's kind of like the main reason I'm not going into any kind of graphical design for a living. Like I'm going into machining, precision machining, which is where you take a chunk of metal and then you turn it into something with a bunch of cutting tools, which is incredibly cool on its own. But I didn't want to make like animation my
So wait,
career because
Are you like
I
Iron Man?
just wanted to keep it as a
Are
hobby.
you Tony Stark?
Am I Iron Man?
Yeah, you're Tony Stark.
That. No. No. Iron Man is much more than a machinist. Like, you ever see those videos of like the metal spinning really fast and then someone's trying to make like a ring out of it?
Uh-huh. Like a lathe, yeah?
It's pretty much it's exactly that.
Mm,
Let me see if I can find an example video.
that's so cool. I have a big respect for people that do multiple things aside from animation, because you might not realize it, but whatever you do outside of animation affects your animation itself. So you can grab inspiration from anywhere and turn that into an animation. But whether you're doing that consciously or not, it still affects your animation. So So I think that's really cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like the things I do outside of animation, it's well, I'm going to school for machining, but I also do a little bit of music production. I kind of want to make some songs with a friend of mine eventually, maybe soon. Uh, what else? I think that's kind of it. Sound design, uh, but I'm mostly public over animation.
Yeah, that's good, good, good,
What are
good.
some of the stuff? What's some of the stuff that you guys do outside of animation, or what everyone knows?
I'll let Shuriken
Uh,
answer first.
First of
Because I know
all, like,
you do animation, game design, and what was the last one? Music. Music. Was there anything else?
oh wait, are you talking about me? Because it's
Yeah.
not actually the game design. I really suck at doing game designs. I'm a game developer. I'm a programmer who
I,
knows how to make stuff work.
yes, I
Like,
believe you're the only Shuriken here at the moment.
Yeah.
no, no, no. I
Well,
mean,
no,
like,
I'm also here.
and also like,
You're Bruh
it's more like I
360.
will. Hmm?
Okay. Anyways, sorry.
Sorry,
Go
didn't mean
on.
to interrupt. You're gonna say it?
So yeah, I'm doing like game development. Like I know how to make stuff work, but if it like I know how to make the base for the game, but making content for it is a big pain. Like to actually think how things should work. Yeah, that's what I really don't like. I really like just to make stuff work, move, and work properly. So yeah, music. Well, I sometimes create music. I collaborated with CDK to create imitation track, and I also play piano. I cover songs on piano, but I don't do this really frequently, and I don't do this really well because I don't have digital piano or MIDI keyboard that will allow me to do this silently. And when you practice, you really disturb everyone, like the neighbors, your family, like by playing the same thing over and over or practicing one certain moment for half hour. It really not good.
Hmm.
So yeah, and like I can cover it, but I can't really play it really clean because I didn't play it really often. The next thing, well, well, I don't really know. Actually, like I wouldn't say that I do this aside from animation because the only one thing that I do as animator is working for Alan Becker because and like I even wouldn't do this really often, but because my mother is about to lose her job and I will be the only one to contain four people family. Yeah, it makes me do some decisions. So yeah, also as I say like as I think I probably said, I do pixel art. Like I practice pixel art because I'm really bad at it, and I have no people like no one will do pixel art for free. Like good pixel artists won't work for free, and I have no money to pay them, so I will have to improve myself so I can make decent graphics for my game.
Hmm.
And yeah, sometimes I also have some animation tasks in there, like pixel art animation. So I think that's what I'm doing lately.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've seen you've kind of like challenged yourself to make pixel art for a whole year,
Yeah,
which
each
is
day
a
has one
daunting
task.
task.
Yeah, it's like in order to improve, like I'm trying to give myself different tasks so I can like
Yeah.
slowly improve everywhere. Like so
I mean, yeah.
I won't have difficulties with drawing some certain thing.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to improve. Like even if you're just doing art, just draw every day.
Yeah, and draw different things. For example, I saw the
Yeah.
guy and I was impressed by his art, but then I realized that he's only good at drawing clouds and like towns from really far view. He doesn't draw anything else. And I just knew that in case if you give him another task, it will be really hard for him. So that's what I'm trying to don't do. Like I'm trying to don't stick with something one. I'm trying to like do whatever comes to my mind.
Yeah. What's your favorite that you've made?
It's for 10th. Actually, it's the last one that I made, and I think I can post it in cast chat, or you can
Alright.
actually put it workspace. I'm just gonna find it really quick. 20. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
It's in cast chat. Here it is.
Oh shit.
Ooh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, this
Okay.
one.
This took you.
That's actually
7
really
hours.
good.
It's so good. I really like it.
Thank you.
All
It
right.
took, and actually, it's the longest one. Like usually, one task takes not longer than 3.5 hours. This one took me 7 hours to make.
That's dedication.
Yeah, and I felt like
What about you,
I
Hatina?
actually think we discussed.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
He's doing Taibo.
Typo. All right.
So
I'm sorry.
you said you
Alright.
do metal.
Telepurte, what do you do outside of art and animation?
I also play piano, but I do have an
Ooh, how
electronic
long?
piano.
So I'm the odd one out.
You're not the musician.
Right.
You don't do music.
I play bass, but that's it.
Really? You play
Just
bass?
let the bass.
We could actually.
Well, I try to play bass.
Well, yeah, I
Was
play.
it because of Devi 504?
No. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Busted. You got busted.
Yeah. It's a really good bass. I mean, I want to practice more on it, but then you run into that same issue because it's a quiet instrument, and in order to hear it, like you really have to have an amp, but then everyone else can hear it, and you don't want to be playing the same shit again.
Can you like put an amp or like can you connect a bass into headphones so that you can just listen to the headphones?
Well, yeah, but I don't have the right equipment yet because if I've tried to do that, but it always comes out like way too over amplified, and if I try and quiet it, it's way too quiet
Huh.
and inconsistent. So I need to buy something to like record actual bass audio with.
I see. But yes,
But yeah.
I play piano. I like to go out for walks. I like to do exercise. I like to cook, actually. And I enjoy just living. Like, living in general just feels good.
How long have you been playing piano?
I've been playing piano for 11 years. Wait, no, sorry, 13 years. Since I was 9.
Nice.
Goddamn.
I've been playing piano since I was 6. And
God damn.
I think it should be 18 years from now. Or even 19 years.
When did you two start animating?
Ooh.
Well, my first program was Flash 5. And it was pretty much new. My father brought it to our house and installed it. So my first animation was created like when I was really, really young and I didn't know how to work with it. So it was probably 2001, but I started doing this really active since 2009.
I was born when you made your first animation. Oh my god. I'm literally Shuriken 2.0.
Yeah, you've been
I was
cursed.
watching Zhao Zhao animations, and I was really inspired by them. So I started trying to make my own, and then it was really hard. I really failed. I
How-
didn't actually. It was just I was a little kid who didn't have much patience. And I had to sit, that when I was trying to do this, I was like, oh my god, why is this so long?
How old were you in 2009?
I was in 2009. I was probably 11 or 12. Wait, hold on. No way. I was 13 years old.
Okay, and Telepurte?
In 2009, that was 11
Well,
years.
how old were you when you started animating?
Oh, I started animating in 2010, so subtract 10 years. Yeah, I was 12.
And I started when I was 10.
Damn, you got
Yeah,
a
I
head
can I
start.
can be the I can be the oldest at something. Or no. No, that's not right. I don't know. I have small brain right now.
I mean,
It's almost 9:30 p.m. I'm getting tired.
everyone knows that it doesn't matter when you started, it matters how hard you work today.
Don't take this from me.
I'll take
Just
everything
kidding, I'm
away
just
from
fucking
you.
around.
I'll even take your big, thick booty. It's mine now.
Oh god. And on that note, do we have any closing statements?
Oh, by the way, I have one more topic that is really close to the one we were discussing.
All right.
Yeah, basically, like, guys, that like to achieve something, like, you really need to work. And the one thing that I noticed, like, if you want to become an intermediate, like, just uh, how intermediate, or how you call it, like the average at something, you
Yeah,
need to
intermediate.
yeah, intermediate. You need to spend, like, $1,000 or $2,000 in, and it matters how can you spend it. Like, you can improve in like 1 year, like, or even half of year, if you just work, for example, 6 or 7 hours per day. But if you will spend on like in average 2 or 3 hours, it will take you like 4 years. So yeah, it matters of how much you actually spend time doing something.
I feel like the best way to kind of learn that is by not telling that person, because if you just tell them that kind of statement, like it takes this absurd amount of hours and days or whatever in order to become good, then that'll kind of scare them off of that subject. But if you just leave that for them to figure out for themselves, I feel like that'll keep them interested by that time.
It's more like people really like, for example, like new animators that come to Hyun's dojo. They think like, oh, I can be like Hyun, or I can be like Aksep, like, or I can be like Turquoise, or anyone like they see. And then like they try
Yeah.
to do like the animation, and then they see that the animation does not look good, and they try to find like the shortcut. Like they try to find that button that, like, in the menu that says like you select the stick figure and press animate. Like, they try to find really
Yes, can I download
like
the animate now
shortcuts,
button,
like, of
please?
being really good at something
Yeah.
and do the animation quick. But they just don't like understand that every single person was a terrible animator, and they've worked on themselves for many hours to improve. So I actually think opposite, they need to understand. And if they understand, like, I actually really hate when people say that, oh, this guy is so talented, I will never be like him. You will never be like him if you don't like work on yourself.
No,
This guy
that
wasn't
attitude,
become
bitch.
like he wasn't like born this way. He was practicing really much, and you can do the same, and you can even be better than he is if you work more than he does. Like,
Yeah.
Chad was never born a Chad.
To try and relate that to something that hopefully more people can understand, it's like singing. I'm told that I'm a good singer. I don't think I'm a good singer, but I practice a lot. But I wasn't born with just a good voice. Like, I sing all the time. Um, it's another one of those things where it's like, oh, you're born with this talent, and I'm a mere spectator. No, everyone needs to practice. Like, if someone's good at a young age, they just started very young. They started
yeah,
very early.
like when I seen 6, or I don't know, 7 year old, like like kid that plays fantasy impromptu in normal speed, I was like, was he like doing this like since he was 3 years old or something? And
Yeah.
actually, I think like you can achieve you can play the like all these masterpieces if you really will work like insane like 10 hours per day. Then in like 2 years you will become insanely good at it, like super good, like better even than you expected. But yeah, it requires a lot of patience. So basically, if you want to do something, go ahead and do this, but just know that like you need to pay attention that you will need to work really much on like you will need to work and you will need time. You need to spend time on being like on becoming good at this.
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah.
That's it.
do you think talent exists in the manner that someone who spends 10 hours will get maybe further along the path than someone else who might spend the same 10 hours doing the same action?
Yes, I actually think that like I mean like I believe that it works this way because some people can be like some people can just be more oriented to this, like some people more oriented to art, some people more oriented to music. For example, I'm more oriented to music than to anything else. Like when I was born, and when I was really young, I could cover songs by ear when I was like 8 or 9 years old, but not really complex, like with no complex chords or melodies. But I was able to do that. Like my sister was not able to do that, but she was like more experienced than I am. But I believe that like even if you don't have something but you really want to do this, there is no like there is nothing here to stop you. Like go ahead and work. Yes, like you may achieve something faster, but it still doesn't cancel the fact that you will need to work to achieve, like to work hard to achieve something. It's just like something you will learn faster than others, something you will learn slower than others.
Hmm.
All right. I think that's a good point to end the stream.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Not
so.
the stream, the
The podcast, the pod stream, the
yeah.
streamcast. Today we will memory leak. Yes. Don't watch
Today we will memory
don't
leak.
watch our podcast. We have memory leak.
All right. Is there anything you guys want to plug before we end it?
Yes. Watch Shuriken's animations and stuff.
Seriously?
Wow, way to go.
My one is like, as I say, you can achieve anything if you work. So yeah, be patient and like go to your goals. Don't be lazy.
Yes.
Sometime you will actually become good. I think that's it.
And I would say check out Telepurte's Twitter and watch his stuff. That's
So you
the
guys
best
have
I can
to
come up with.
To that, I will bounce back.
Yeah.
Watch or check out Hatina's giant jiggly butt.
What? No. No.
No,
I
I'm
thought you were about to say Twitter. I'm like, I don't do anything on Twitter.
Well, no,
Stone followed me on Twitter recently, and I was just like, why? I don't do anything.
Man, shut up. You're
Alright.
an inspiration, bro.
Well, follow me on YouTube then.
Yes. Wait, subscribe.
All right, first thing.
Hit the bell button.
The very first thing.
Smash that
shows
like
up,
button.
Hang on. The very first picture that shows up on my Twitter is I'm gonna send it in chat, but I'll also show it on the stream. Is this?
Ooh.
So sure, follow me on Twitter if you want shit posts.
Wow.
Alright, but subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you're listening to this, then just support us anywhere. And thank you all for dropping by.
Mm.
Bye.
Goodbye.